Check 1, 2.
Go! Curious about real estate?
Yes!
Then you've come to the right place. Get the knowledge you need, get over the fear, and get started. This is the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show with your host, Michael Quarles.
Hello, everybody. Michael Quarles with podcast 72. Man, we're getting close to 100. Hey, today's podcast, there's 5 questions from real estate investors like yourself who sent in their questions to support@bsffacademy.com. One more time, support@bsffacademy.com. A couple things before I start. I really appreciate those of you who have jumped on iTunes and gave me some reviews. Appreciate that. Secondly, those of you that are starting to use our forum at buysellfixflip.com, I appreciate that too. Hopefully we'll get that up and running and wildly entertaining. Here we go. Question number 1. On the weekends, I typically cold call or go door knocking. Oftentimes I get bullied by the owner because they have the mentality that since I'm approaching them, they want me to give them the price. I know you have a script for incoming seller calls. Do you have a script for cold calling or when we approach the seller unexpectedly? I do have a script for cold calling. It goes a lot like this. Hi, my name is Michael Quarles with iBuy Houses. We're looking for 3 and 4 bedroom homes in your neighborhood, and I was wondering, who do you know that's planning on moving? You don't know anybody? Terrific. Where did you happen to move from? You moved from Texas. Outstanding. How long have you lived in this house? You've lived in this house for 14 years. Well, that's incredible. Well, if you were to move, where would you move next? You'd go back to Texas. Well, that's wonderful. And when would that be? Oh, you'd go back to Texas in the next 3 months. Well, I just have a question for you. Did you want to be sold in the next 3 months, or did you want to start selling in 3 months? You wanted to be sold in 3 months, so that's terrific. All we need to do is simply set an appointment for me to come out and actually buy your house, and we can close on the date of your choice. So you can actually live in the home for the next 3 months while you're packing up, waiting to go to Texas. And then you're just going to go into the additional information you have or gather from them about their home. Make sure it qualifies. As far as door knocking on the doors, I do have scripts for that. But when I knock on doors, I'm knocking on doors of 3 houses that have just been sold, 3 houses that are on the market, and the 5 houses around the prospect. So I'm looking for information about the area. So if I were going to knock on a random door, here's what I would do. Knock, knock, knock. They'd answer the door. I said, hi, my name is Michael Quarles. My family and I are going to be buying a house in the neighborhood. And I was just canvassing the area to see what the neighborhood was like and find out as much information as I could. Have you lived here long? Oh, you have? Well, terrific. How long have you lived here? You've lived here for 14 years. 14 years, oh my goodness. Have you thought about moving? You haven't thought about moving. Well, terrific. So you're going to be here for a while now. We're going to be neighbors if I absolutely buy a house here. Well, that's outstanding. Do you know anybody that's looking to sell their house on the block? The guy down the corner, around the corner, the purple house. Oh, great. Do you know if there's anything wrong with the house or anything that he's been doing to the house to modernize it? Oh, the plumber's been out there a lot. Blah, blah, blah. So I would do a third person kind of thing. So I'm not talking to them about their house. I'm talking about the neighborhood and do they know anybody in the neighborhood that's looking to sell? That would be my approach. Good luck. Question number 2. How would you handle this objection? I get a lot of these letters and cards from people wanting to buy my house. Convince me why I should sell to you. I feel like I get in these situations where usually I'm guilty of giving the seller control of the conversation. But other times I feel like it's been taken away from me. Any suggestions? Yes. Here's the objection handle. I get a lot of these letters and cards from people wanting to buy my house. Convince me why I should sell to you. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, that's an interesting question. The only reason that you should sell to me is because I'm absolutely your best opportunity. You see, sometimes, like you, I'm a seller too, and there's nothing more frustrating than to see a deal break down in escrow because the buyer couldn't qualify or some other situation. You know, I buy houses as is, no repairs required. I pay all the costs, things like commissions and escrow fee, closing company costs, title insurance, transfer tax. Again, we buy them in as is. I pay cash, and I can have you the cash on the day of your choice. So you can stay in the house as long as you need to with the peace of mind knowing it's sold, but sold to somebody who can actually afford to buy it. That's why you should sell me your house. What time tomorrow at 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock can I come out and actually buy your house and go over the program on how we can work a deal that's a win-win situation for both of us? Tomorrow at 2, great. When I come out tomorrow at 2 o'clock, it's important, and then you're just going to go into your script. But you're just going to go and tell them why your program's better. Whatever you have as a program, tell them why it's better.
Thanks for listening to Buy, Sell, Fix, Flip. We'll be right back. Are you running out of leads? It's time you tried Yellow Letters at yellowletters.com. Get motivated seller leads through yellow letters, postcards, zip letters, typed professional letters, greeting cards, door hangers, and business cards. Yellow Letters is a full-service marketing company created with your success in mind. Get the personal attention you need to get your direct mail campaign started and get in touch at yellowletters.com.
And we are back in 3, 2, 1.
Question number 3. I send my yellow letters on a monthly basis. I do my follow-ups. When calls start slowing down, I also connect with agents and make offers on the MLS. I am not currently working and have time during the week. I feel I am not maximizing because most of the sellers are working. As a new investor, what other things could you be doing to be more productive? Oh my goodness, really? How about tell everybody that you know that you're a real estate investor? And here's the deal. It's cool. God made it, if you believe in that kind of thing. I happen to. But God made it so super simple. You know what he did? He only gave us two types of people. There's only 2 types of people that we need to tell that we're a real estate investor. Time's up. Here are the 2 types. The guys and the girls. All of the guys that you come in contact at Subway, Starbucks, at the gym, getting gas, whatever. All the girls that you come in contact at Subway, the gym, getting gas, whatever, that you're a real estate investor. Tell everybody that you knew, mom, dad, brother, sister, coworkers, employer, everybody. All your friends, everybody that you pay money to, your barber, your manicurist, everybody. You tell everybody that you're a real estate investor. You won't have to do any marketing. And you just make sure that they tell everybody they know. So here's the conversation. Fred. Hey, Fred, Michael Quarles. You know, I haven't talked to you in a while, but after careful consideration and a lot of thought, I have become a real estate investor, and I help these kinds of people. I help those kinds of people. I help these kinds of people. This is what my program is all about. We do this, and we do this, and we do this. So you come up with your introduction speech. You can it. You make it yours. And then everybody that you know, you start telling that to. And then when you're standing in line, tell those people too. It's not that hard. Now, I really commend you on talking to MLS agents. But here's what, the only reason you want to talk to an agent from the MLS is if they've bought your property. Stop trying to do deals from the MLS. It's not going to work. Or it's going to work rarely. All you're doing is busy work. If what you want is busy work, go to the gym, work out, get more muscles, stay healthy, that kind of thing. But if you want quality work, start talking to everybody you know. If you find that you don't know anybody and you're too shy, pick up the friggin' phone and say, hi, my name is Michael Quarles. We talked about cold calling earlier with I Buy Houses, and I'm looking for 3 and 4 bedroom homes in the neighborhood, and I was wondering who's planning on moving, kind of thing. Who do you call? You call everybody that are in car ad, those little books that have cars for sale. You call all those phone numbers because they want you to talk to them. Now, don't tell them I saw your car in the car ads. You just ask them who they know that's looking to move and has a house for sale. Then you call every house that's advertising in the newspaper. I know who advertises in the newspaper, but they do this on garage sales. So you get those garage sale ads and you start cold calling those folks because those folks are going to be ready to be moving. Some of them are garage selling to move. All right? And then as you're driving up and around town, you have your business cards with you at all times. You have your 4 contracts in your car at all times. And every time you see an open house sign with a for sale by owner, you stop and try to buy a house. Every time you see a for rent sign, you call that person and you ask that investor if they're looking to sell that house. Man, there's so many different ways to stay busy. Question number 4. Your daily deal podcasts have been helpful. Are these subject to deals? If so, when or how is this explained to the seller? There are all kinds of different deals. Subject to is explained to the seller, sometimes in the beginning, sometimes in the middle, sometimes in the end. It takes a little bit more than the Alex and the Ryan, so the third tier negotiation gets involved. But they're explained if it's a sub to. Sometimes they're not sub to. Sometimes, unfortunately, they're all cash. That's okay too. Sometimes they're seller financing. That's okay too. Sometimes it's a combination of cash, seller financing, sub to. That's okay too. But it's always explained. Our contract covers it all. Question number 5. You mentioned that you go over every detail in the 9-page contract with the seller. After listening to your sample calls with Alex, Ryan, and Gabriel, I do not see where you do that. When and how do you go over the contract with the seller? Well, the calls with Alex, Ryan, and Gabriel, that's just getting the seller to agree to a price, which then we send to the seller for them to sign. Keep in mind, we buy over the phone. We never see our seller. So we send that to the seller. Those times that the seller needs to go over the contract, we get them on the phone. We look at their contract, our contract at the same time on the phone so we can paraphrase the agreement. If I was in person, I'd be going through every paragraph with the seller. It's appropriate in person, not as appropriate over the phone when you're emailing and faxing and FedExing stuff. Great questions. Man, got tongue-tied on a couple of them. But I appreciate you guys sending these things in. And remember, man, I really like you guys that are, well, I like all you guys, but those of you that are going to iTunes and giving me some stars and some write-ups and that kind of stuff, I think that's so cool. Get jumping on that forum of ours. That's cool too. If you want to get in the coaching program, let us know. I'm filling up. Just let us know. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show. Get more info and stay in touch at michaelquarles.com.